The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah. Go Cowboys!
This is the Players Lounge, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now, your hosts, Barry Church, Danny McCray, Heckma Harrison, and Newey Scruggs.
Let's ride. Players Lounge, live from Frisco.
Let's go.
Headquarters of the Dallas Cowboys here at the Star, the SWBC Podcast Center. You know the crew. It's Heckma Harrison in the house.
Yes, sir.
Barry Church, former Cowboys safety. I am merely Newey Scruggs. Danny McCray, day off. So, Players Lounge brought to you by Aristocrat. Trey Lance. Let's just go right there.
You want to start with Trey?
Cowboys
Trigger.
lose 13-12. Let's just go right there to Trey Lance. This was about Trey Lance. We need to see what Trey Lance could do. I need grades, gentlemen. Heckma.
Ooh. Oh, you going to go to me first.
Straight off the boat.
Straight off the boat. All right. I'm going, you know what? What I'm not going to do is make Trey Lance my whipping boy for the offseason, for the preseason. I'm not going to do that, okay? And I was judging him according to each throw, and I came away with a C-. I came away with a C- performance. I mean, easy to say D or F, but C-. He gave you some things athletically that it was like, oh, okay, I see. You know, 6'4", 225. He got wheels. Boy can run.
Yeah.
But he missed on a lot, and you know, Babe and Bill, the broadcast, everybody, they didn't let him go on it. They showed him, circled it up and just let him know that, hey, he's missing some spots. Mechanics isn't all the way there, and I think it's a byproduct of the time that he hasn't played in the league, but I can still see the potential in why they're buying in to Trey Lance. I have some other questions. I'm sure we're going to get into that about Trey Lance, but that's my grade that I give him.
C-. I love it.
C-. Okay. You know what? I'm with you on the C-. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and I was gonna hit him with the D, but I'm gonna give him the C- because, like you said, he showed some athleticism out there, and what I was most impressed with is he had a conscious effort to not only do it with his legs, but he wanted to show you that he can do it from the pocket as well. I mean, they let him out there throw it, I think, 41 times out there. Yeah. Only threw for $188, but he didn't turn the ball over. And he did have a lot of drops out there. Now, he was playing with a lot of young cats that are, trying to make the team and are just now starting to get their legs fresh when it comes to the NFL. So he had a lot of drops. But overall, like you said, Heck, he really wasn't accurate. Really wasn't accurate at all. Out of all the quarterbacks that played in that game, I think it was Stetson Bennett played all for the Rams.
Yeah, everyone.
Trey Lance, and then you had Cooper Rush, who threw an absolute dime.
Yeah, he did.
Early in that game, but I think he was the second best quarterback out there. Showed his athleticism as far as getting away from the rush if he needed to, and he had a couple good throws out there, but for the most part, he just wasn't accurate, and he looked like a guy that. You would think, okay, man, this guy must be a rookie. No, this guy's been in the league a while.
Yes, he has.
And what's most disappointing is, you get with the quarterback whisper and Mike McCarthy going on year 2, and it's just we just haven't seen that improvement. You would think you would get into this game, and he's going against vanilla defenses and the 2s and the 3s for the Rams. He ain't going against the starters, and he wasn't able to pick those guys apart like I thought he would be able to. He still reminds me of the guy that, was fresh out of college in North Dakota State with 17 starts. Not that much improvement, and he's been in the league a little bit. So I'm going to give him a C- because he showed me that he was able and conscious effort to go out there and try to do it with his arm, not just his legs. But I just got to see more improvement, more command of the offense. And, hopefully we'll see that going into the preseason games.
6 attempts, 44 yards using his legs. That right there took him out of the D category because this is an aspect of the game. As a quarterback, if you can use your feet, pick up some yardage, this will help you. So we know Trey can do that, so he did that. But otherwise, in terms of passing and throwing the football here, 25 completions on 41 attempts, 188 yards, that's not cutting it. That's not cutting it. Cooper Rush is number 2 quarterback.
Lock and
right
seal.
now.
Lock and seal it.
Just put it in there. That's what's going to happen. He's going to be your backup quarterback. And with all due respect, they've cut down the preseason games. So we know the last preseason game, Church, you've played in that before. That's that you're not going to get anything there. So you've got this next one coming up here. And there's just not going to. He's not going to be able to do enough in one preseason game to say for anybody to say, "Hey, this is our number 2 guy." Yep. So this point in time, it's going to be Cooper Rush is the number 2 backup to Dak Prescott. Trey Lance is going to be the number 3 guy. He's just going to have to try to keep on improving. I will give him this grace. This is where you hope Mike McCarthy and Scott Tolzien can keep working with him. I will go back to Cooper Rush. There was a point in time where Cooper Rush lost his job here, was cut, then had to go play for Jason Garrett and the Giants, came back and he improved.
Yeah, that's true.
So to me, the grace I'm giving Trey Lance is simply this. We have seen in this league guys who can improve, guys who can start, get better. Nick Foles.
Yeah, absolutely.
Never thought Nick Foles would be sitting up here as a Super Bowl winning quarterback and an MVP who, oh, by the way, beat Bill Belichick. But he improved. He got better. I'm looking at Trey Lance as that's the high end of what I believe he could do. Keep staying in this one system. Hopefully they sign Dak Prescott. And maybe in 25, he could eventually go and become a backup quarterback. But right now, with where the season is going and what's going on here, there's not going to be enough time for Trey Lance to be the number 2 quarterback, in my opinion.
Look, guys, I'm not paranoid. I don't believe in conspiracy theories, but I was shocked at 41 passes. I was.
That's a lot.
Okay? And I'm just saying, I know it's preseason, and it's not a lot to make of that, but if you look around the rest of the league, that just was a lot, as far as his average. And to me, we left out of here on Friday, and I was talking about he's not a bargaining chip and all that. Just get Dak signed the whole 9. But just based off of their actions and the place that they put him in, I'm like, hey, this is let's see what we got under the hood kind of a situation right now for Trey Lance. And I don't blame him, because what would we be saying right now if Trey Lance went out there and he was 25 or 32, threw for 315 yards and had 2 tutties?
Yeah.
Insert parentheses, controversy, right? Yeah. Because that's what you'd be talking about. You'd be talking about, well, look, the Cowboys embarrassments of riches at the quarterback position. Mm-hmm. They have a decision to make. It looks like Trey Lance is the heir apparent, things like that. So, look, like I said, he's not going to be my whipping boy. I know that he has a lot to his game that is going to be desired. And BC, you can tell me if I'm right or wrong on this, but when it comes down to quarterbacks in the league, you don't have to be the most athletic guy. Mm-mm. Just stand there and deliver the mail. If these guys are running these routes, make sure that you get it to them. And there's plenty of times that he was missing guys wide open. And it's just not even my belief. This is like the football Bible. A good wide receiver can't make a bad quarterback look good. Mm-hmm. But a good quarterback can make a bad wide receiver at least look decent.
Yeah. The touchdown, it was a touchdown to Fant that he just missed. Trey missed.
Oh, way over.
He just missed it. You got to make that kind of throw. And that's where I go back into just the grace. All right, young player, they'll go back, you look at the film, and he's got to be able to hit that, and you hope that he can do that against the Raiders coming up here if you get that opportunity again. But if I'm head coach Mike McCarthy, and this is my last contract, hey, man, Cooper Rush, you're the guy. Trey Lance, keep working over here. We'll keep on seeing how we can make you better. He should play a whole lot against the Raiders.
Oh, yeah.
And you just keep on trying to feed him and see where he can go. But I just think at this point, heck, we have to really just be realistic about this and say this is a project right now. This is a Trey Lance project. I wouldn't give up on the project, but it's a project.
Why not, though?
Why not?
Why not?
Okay, Cooper Rush is up at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll be 30.
Yeah.
Do you want to keep going there? Or at some point in time, because it's going to cost you, by the way, because this is a good backup player.
Yeah,
who knows?
He's going to hit you about 5. He's going to hit you for about 5.
And Trey's
You'll
not,
spend that.
Trey's not, the prices will be falling, okay? With that Walmart rollback sticker.
Oh, yeah,
that contract going to be the Walmart rollback sticker, baby.
The red sticker going to be right there.
That's a great value, Trey Lance.
The Walmart brand, great value, okay? I bought some almond milk today. It's the great value, okay? Yes, he is.
Don't do it.
We got to pay Micah, right? So Coop, I can't give you that $5 million. But Trey, I got 2.
It ain't Captain Crunch. It's the Parrot Crunch over here. Not Doritos, but Ditos. Man, come on.
It's Fruity Stones. Fruity Pebbles. They got Fruity Stones.
Oh, man. You're doing all the negotiating on his next contract right here on the Players Lounge, man.
Hey, man.
Just telling the man where he is. And look, I mean, even if you look at the San Francisco 49ers, Lions, where he was in Shanahan's system, and Shanahan is playing with Purdy, the Mr. Irrelevant. They were all in on Trey Lance,
No,
and
they weren't.
I'm just talking about what they traded to get him. What they gave away to get him led me to believe that they were all in on him. He came in and showed them that he didn't have it. And sometimes, based on your point, it's like, what if a guy just don't have it?
Some guys don't have it.
Kyle got talked into that. He got talked to. He didn't want it. They talked to Lynch, and I can't remember the other guy. The management was like this. This dude, and it's crazy. This dude was like in a Mac Jones.
Yeah. Yeah,
He
right.
was.
Yeah, true.
Had that work out. But and he loved, like, look, they loved Kirk Cousins. That was who they truly wanted back in the day, but they had to go settle and get Garoppolo. So Purdy fits the kind of guys that Shanahan wants here. And Trey Lance, when they saw he couldn't do it, Shanahan was like,
And that's
quit.
here. If you see a guy can't do it,
But you didn't.
Don't
you
keep
didn't-
hanging on to it. It ain't there.
if it ain't there,
The thrill is gone, baby.
but
You know the
at
song.
but at the price,
he ain't got the juice now.
you gonna be at this price.
You trying to talk yourself into it. That's what you doing. I know what you doing, Newey.
Look at what we did. Look at what you got out of Cooper Rush, right?
What? Okay.
This man sat around here.
He was with Garrett
And
Gilbert.
That's true.
He buried Cooper Rush.
That is true.
Never would have thought Cooper Rush going Sunday Night Football throw for 300 yards, beat Minnesota Vikings on Halloween night. And he did.
That's true.
That's all I'm talking about here.
Okay.
Is could he get to this point? Matt Hasselbeck is a guy we saw in Green Bay as a fifth rounder who kept improving and then eventually got. Trey has not played. You mentioned it before. We started looking. He didn't play a lot in college football. The problem for the 49ers and everybody else who was doing the evaluating is you evaluated a guy who didn't play. Same thing with Mitchell Trubisky. Mitchell Trubisky had 13 starts at North Carolina and was third team all ACC. Yeah, he's going to get drafted before Mahomes and Deshaun. There was misevaluation all day long. And so you've misevaluated him. You gave up a 4. If he played for the 49ers that year, they wouldn't have got no 4. He'd have been like Fields getting a 6.
Right.
You know, so it'd have been a giveaway. But because it happened before the season, you had to give up a 4 and you met the price tag. But now you're just seeing, hey, there's a little more work to go here. So before I throw him overboard, I'm just simply saying, heck, you have the player for this year, he's under contract. If you bring him back next year under Dak Prescott and you get him at your price, is that the world's worst thing? Now, you can still go out and look for another quarterback. You should still keep looking.
Yeah.
But if you're working with the player, and I had to have Mike McCarthy and Scott Tolzien tell me, Jerry Jones' general manager, we are seeing some progress. We're seeing some things. That's what I'd have to see. And if they tell me, nah, dude, we tried, we did what we could, we had a whole year, we may need to look on, I would do that too. But you're also going to be in the driver's seat because what options will he have if he spends a whole year as a third quarterback and he doesn't really play? Ain't not be a whole bunch of people running out there saying,
Well, the problem with that is Mike McCarthy doesn't have a whole lot of time either with this situation. So
that's why he's going to be your number 3. But that whole practice time when they spit, when they have another year to keep on trying to improve the play. And once again, I go back to what I saw with Cooper Rush. And I think that's a heck of a lot of credit to give McCarthy and his staff because I never envisioned Cooper Rush being what he is now, which is, hey, man, if Dak is down, this dude can keep you in the game. He's shown you. I'll keep the ship afloat. In fact, we can stay in first
not
place.
going to wreck it out.
Only issue with that is
But
how
that's
many
gonna cost you
snaps
now.
do you think a third string quarterback is going to get out there in
None.
practice?
Not
How is he
much.
going to be able to improve that much within the system? Cooper Rush was a backup, so he was taking at least 3 or 4 out of the one's reps during practice with the regular one crew out there. So he was able to improve that way. When you talk about your third string quarterback, he may get a couple scout team reps when Cooper Rush is like, let me take a breather. He may get some scout team reps, but for sure he's not going to get any first teams.
And now we're talking about a roster spot, right? Now aren't we talking about a roster spot for him as well? So, I mean, this is just one of those, you're in a pickle if you're going to continue down this road and this guy doesn't imminently develop into what you want.
What a fantastic conversation that we get to have. Keep going on this. It's pretty cool. All right, let's get our first break in here. Chuma Edoga is going to miss time. The Cowboys' left tackle is going to miss some time. We'll tell you what the injury is and where the Cowboys go next on the critical portion of their football team is the offensive line with Barry Church. Heck, my hair, something to express. Players Lounge brought to you by Aristocrat Gaming on DallasCowboys.com radio.
Are you the 2024 Dallas Cowboys Fan of the Year? The Dallas Cowboys and Captain Morgan are celebrating extraordinary, inspiring, and original fans. Nominate yourself or the biggest Cowboys fan you know for a chance to be named the 2024 Fan of the Year and win prizes, including a trip to Super Bowl 59. Visit DallasCowboys.com/Fan of the Year. Go Cowboys!
Hey there, Cowboys Nation. Kyle Yeomans here, sharing that same team that brought you Buffalo, bringing NFL casino games that show America's team on and off the reels. Aristocrat is changing the game with a new experience. Football fans, this means you can pick your team and play your team. Check out the Cowboys-themed casino games developed by Aristocrat, a proud sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. Gambling problem? Please contact the U.S. National Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800-GAMBLER for 21 and over.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
Back to the Players Lounge.
The creators of Buffalo Casino Gaming bring you Cowboys-themed casino games developed by Aristocrat. Find America's team on and off the rails now at a casino near you. Do you have a gambling problem? Please contact 1-800-GAMBLER for 21 and over.
Excellent, sir. Thank you very much. Heckma Harrison. This is Players Lounge, brought to you by Aristocrat Gaming. Barry Church from the Cowboys Safeties here. I'm Newey Scruggs. Let us dive into the news of the day, which is Chuma Edoga, the Cowboys' left tackle. He's going to miss some time. Tard Archer reporting he's going to miss time into the regular season with a toe injury here. So that means Tyler Guyton, come on down. The rookie out of Oklahoma took 21 snaps against the Rams in their preseason game. And to me, I'm looking at it right now as, okay, here's Tyler Guyton. Got to get him ready. Yep. Their first game is against Cleveland. And Defensive Player of the Year, Myles Garrett. And Awesome Richards, kid they took out of North Carolina on day 3 last year. It is time for these two gentlemen to get a whole lot of reps here at left tackle. That's my opinion. How you looking at it, Church?
I'm with you on that one. It's time. It's time for the man to go in there. And one thing I will say is when he did get those snaps, we didn't hear his name called, which is a good thing when you're talking about the offensive line, because that means he wasn't out there just getting holding or getting ran through, anything like that. Now, now it's his time. He's going to be able to gel with those number one crew and see what they got, because we've seen through these past couple of years, like you always say, the season's long. The season is long, so you're going to need as much depth as possible. So for these two young gentlemen to get in there and get as many reps as possible is just increasing that fluidity that they're going to have through that offensive line. So for me, I think, hopefully Edoga gets healthy well. We never want to see anybody go down, but I think it's time for Guyton to go in there and solidify his position at that left tackle.
Look, man, that left tackle position is so vital to the success of everything that you do on offense. Sure. And I appreciate the way that the coaching staff, the scouts, everybody's looking at this and bringing this guy along slowly. Yeah, am I a little alarmed that he doesn't start the game? Yeah, I am. But I do think that these joint practices are going to be very good for him and his development. But my thing is, if he ain't there, he ain't there. Right? Yeah. How long are we going to keep this project going? Because we're not going to put Dak in harm's way with a left tackle that is missing, reaching, and we've already gone through what this whole schedule is about. All right, and so Yes. There are some things that I think, especially coming up to the Saturday game with the Chuma Edoga injury, are they going to start him? How much is he going to play? How much are we going to get to see? We haven't seen those little bits and reels that the Cowboy media department always puts out there. Oh, guys, why is that missing? I think it's missing for a reason. So let's see what that reason is. What to do?
I have a question, sir.
What you got?
What's your plan B? Give me the Heckma Harrison plan B now.
Well, my plan
If Guyton can't go, or if he just ain't got it.
You can't get it if you ain't got it.
Sir?
It's not there.
What you got?
I think, Church alluded to this last week. We were talking about Tyler Smith. We were talking about Tyler Smith and realizing that you do have that bargaining chip there. You do have a player that you recognize, even with like Zach Martin a little while ago. You're not going to start the season with a guy that's going to put you in any danger. And so when I came away from the game and just watching completely the offensive line, I go back to my guy Cooper Beebe, Ema all day. You have a guy that you can bump out to the left guard position and also play Tyler Smith at the left tackle. Now that's breaking the glass, hitting the red button.
I didn't say that, did I? I haven't said that.
Did you?
I haven't said that.
They better get some reps at it.
Yeah, no doubt.
They better get some reps.
No doubt.
At it.
But you have a guy that you recognize right now that look, he's got some developing to do, and these next couple of weeks are going to be crucial for him. And if they're going to be putting him out on an island. And if they can't trust him.
No, you don't do that.
If you can't put him out there on an island, and man.
But literally, okay, so if it's Austin Richards, you can't put him out against Myles Garrett. No. You put nobody in their right minds in this league is going to put somebody on an island with Myles Garrett. Unless your old boy out in San Francisco. I mean, there's not very many people who can go one-on-one with him. You're going to have to get some help.
There aren't any offenses that are going to, weld a tight end to the end of their left tackle either. That's going to handicap your entire offense. You're going to go quick. You're going to run at him. You're going to try and maneuver as much as you possibly can, but you just can't. If that's what you do, then you're limiting everything you do. If you have to play 12, if you have to play 12, if that's not what your system is, we're not going to change our system for one guy. We're going to believe that we can continue to run our system, but we're not going to put Dak in a position to where he's sitting back there on an island by himself in pass pro. That's all I'm saying.
But you don't want no Chaz Green episode either.
Yeah, you don't want that.
No, I don't want any of that. All right, this is our worst case scenario.
I'll throw a tight end out here. I'll put Hunter Lipke as my fullback. I'll put them out there to make a rookie left tackle against Myles Garrett cannot be out here left one-on-one.
Nah,
I ain't trusting him.
I completely agree with you.
Come on, y'all gonna be hugging together. It's gonna be an 86-60. It's gonna be that's gonna be right there together, man.
You better get some great production from
what I'm saying
Cooks
is that's gonna limit so much of your offense by doing it. But look, and I agree with what you just said.
It is.
You can bring a Hunter Lipke and chip on a guy like Myles Garrett. You got to throw the kitchen sink at him. Oh, and by the way, he's got some other guys up front that can get there too. So I'm just saying, as much as we're talking about Myles Garrett, there's still other threats to go with, a Schwartz defense.
Sure, but I'm at least making sure that threat doesn't get to me because I know he'll.
He can game wreck you.
Right, he'll tear it up. I mean, if you don't, then Dak ain't gonna be. Hey, I got 4 receivers. Dak ain't gonna see none of them because they're gonna be look out.
It might be like that anyway. That's what I'm saying.
That's fine, but I'll throw Schoonmaker. You sit up here with Guyton, you two together. I will sacrifice a receiver in a route to make sure I got a tight end sitting up there with Guyton to make sure we can slow down Myles Garrett. Yes, Schwartz can do some other blitzes and loop other guys. That's fine. But I'm not about to leave Myles Garrett one-on-one no more than I'm leaving Micah Parsons one-on-one or J.J. Watt. I mean, there's certain guys in this league, you leave them one-on-one, you asking for problems.
Get your quarterback hurt.
I completely got you on that. I agree with you to a certain extent. That's all. So, to a certain degree.
Yeah. I just see the Chaz Green. Then they go bring in Byron Bell. Still leaving these dudes.
That's cool. That was a rough one. 6 sacks.
It's ugly. It can get ugly fast.
So after the game, I go to Tyron Smith. I said, Tyron. I mean, as a practice, I said, why do that? Okay, I got when they did it when Tyron was out there one-on-one, but I was like, they're not you. And he's like, that's just what we do. And to me, that's the coaching malfeasance right
100%.
there. At the end of the day,
yes, sir.
I mean, Chaz is, okay, we're talking about Tyron Smith, while he's playing for the Jets this year, You look at the man's resume. It is a Hall of Fame conversation resume that they should be having in camp. I don't know if he gets in, but his name, his candidacy should be discussed in the room. And the ability in this league for a guy like that to, hey man, we can leave him out there one-on-one. You know, if it's old Tyron Smith, not Tyron now, hey, he can go out here and handle Myles Garrett one-on-one and JJ Watt. He could do that. These other guys haven't done it. And for a guy like Guyton, and heck, you know this, was playing right in Oklahoma.
Absolutely.
Now you're going left.
Yeah.
So now, I mean, and
it's a difference.
I don't want to be gross about it, but one lineman said it's like trying to take a different hand that you normally wipe yourself with and go with the other. It's a difference.
I bet it is.
If you're going to the left versus you using it right, it is a difference. Yeah. And so you're already asking him to make a change, and now it's a big change. That's something like, hey, bro, we're going to help you.
Yeah, and I'm just saying game planning. Right now, I'm sure that Mike McCarthy and his staff is already game planning for that Cleveland game. And if it's with their rookie left tackle, then that brings a whole nother dynamic to it because of the matchup. I'm only relating this to my experience when Terrence Steele started at right tackle. Because, you know, he wasn't the strongest, wasn't the fastest, got beat. He was off balance a lot, you know, and how they tried to help him with tight ends and stuff and chipping on guys going out that way. They just couldn't just completely send a guy over there, help him for the entire game. That's all I'm saying. I think he's going to be a liability no matter what. I just want to know, and I think we all want to know, how confident we can be in him going into week one. Right now, it's the great unknown. We haven't seen it. We've seen him on for 20 snaps.
There's no trust.
There's none at all. And so that proof, consistency, we have none of it. All right,
we have none of time.
We don't. And so
tape nothing.
Not only that, now it even goes further than that. From Cleveland to New Orleans to Baltimore. I mean, he has the kitchen sink being thrown at him at the beginning.
Steelers.
Absolutely. So it is a trial by fire. Who is going to be in that fire? Is it going to be your rookie? Because I think in one hand, this coaching staff isn't going to throw him to the wolves if he's not ready because of what you just said. He's going from right to left. The learning curve isn't. If he isn't taking on that learning curve gracefully, and we need to give this guy it's going to be, if he has a red shirt year, ooh, Lord.
Hey, looking at the time.
There's going to be a lot of articles written on that. He does have to sit.
So this joint practice against the Rams is going to be huge for Guyton and Awesome Richards as you start to see, hey guys, we need you to start to come forward and make these advances. And this is where your coaching staff really has to come in with flying colors of, okay, we've got 3 guys that we have to get ready at left tackle. Guyton, Richards, and Smith to figure out what are the combinations going to be, not just for that. We know injuries happen too. Oh, yeah. So you've got to have these 3 guys get ready to go. I know Barry hates Pro Football Focus numbers.
Come on, hit us with it. Hit us with it. Where the Pro Football Focus numbers?
You about to go ball on this one?
Yeah.
Josh Ball. I saw that one.
Guy,
I seen that too. Yo, I don't know if you want that.
Well, I tell you what, Pro Football Focus, this is where you lose people, man. Yeah. This is where you lose. The coaching staff is not looking at this and saying, here's a solution. This is
one of the highest graded Cowboys, wasn't it? It was, man.
Yeah, which goes back to what the scouts always say, they don't know what it is that we're looking for, what we're asking of guys. So they're just going off base of what they see. All right, let's get our second break in here. And, boy, I feel like I just brought the house down.
You did a little bit. You did a little bit. You want to talk about the defense and the interceptions? You want to go to that?
But
you want to do anything like that?
We deal in truth, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a players' lounge.
It's a players' lounge. If we're going to deal in truth, we must be able to tell it, take it, and live it. So we would do that next. And, yes, there were 4 interceptions. There were 4. Should have been 5. Possibly.
My boy was holding.
Stephen Bennett was giving it away like Thanksgiving dinner. All right. He is Heckman Harris, Barry Church on New Scruggs Players Lounge, brought to you by Aristocrat Branding on DallasCowboys.com radio.
To kick off the 2023 NFL season, Hugo Boss teamed up with the NFL and Micah Parsons to launch an iconic apparel collection featuring hoodies, crews, t-shirts, polos, joggers, and more. The bold, unique apparel of the Boss NFL collection unites football and fashion while reflecting what it truly means to be a boss. Get yours today at nflshop.com/HugoBoss, at HugoBoss.com, and at Boss retail stores. #Be your own boss.
I'm Cowboys alumni, Danny McCray, here with Smoothie King asking, what's that sound? That's the sound of me sipping one of their Power Pack smoothies with over 10 grams of protein. with real fruits and organic veggies because at Smoothie King, what you see is what you sip. So grab a delicious Smoothie King smoothie, throw a straw in your jaw, and get sipping real. Smoothie King, the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey there, Cowboys Nation. Kyle Yeomans here, sharing that same team that brought you Buffalo, bringing NFL casino games that show America's team on and off the reels. Aristocrat is changing the game with a new experience. Football fans, this means you can pick your team and play your team. Check out the Cowboys-themed casino games developed by Aristocrat, a proud sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. Gambling problem? Please contact the U.S. National Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800-GAMBLER for 21 and over.
Raising Cane's presents the other rules of football. Rule 1. Any broadcast without the express addition of cooked-to-order Cane's chicken fingers is prohibited. Rule 12. No crinkle-cut fries, Texas toast, or craveable Cane sauce constitutes an illegal formation. And Rule 31. Anybody who loves to feed their game face is an eligible receiver of Cane's. When it comes to winning game day, Cane's rules. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love. Go Cowboys.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Watch your Dallas Cowboys practice as part of training camp presented by American Airlines today and tomorrow in Oxnard, California. Don't miss a scrimmage with the Los Angeles Rams on Wednesday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Admission is free. Visit DallasCowboys.com/training camp for all of your upcoming practice dates.
Thank you, Heckma Harrison. Before we go to defense, next, okay? That Cowboy run game.
Brother.
My brother showed up.
Malik Davis, 8 carries, 18 yards. That's average 2.3. Rico Dowdle, 3 carries, 14 yards, average of 4.7. And no carries for L. Bookie Hunter Lipke. So,
I was looking forward to it.
I was looking forward to it. I thought he was going to show the sweet feet off, man. Yeah, for sure.
I'm just assuming that Mike's got some big plans. He's like, I'm not going to unveil this in the preseason. I'll keep it under wraps. And then could Cleveland catch it, but pow, Jim Schwartz would be like, oh my gosh, what expected?
Miles Garrett with 1-2. Oh my gosh, yes, sir.
That's the only thing I could think. Mike was like, man, we can't let this out the bag on him, man. Don't even say anything. Heck, we're just going to talk about defense. Talk about your defense now. Heck, don't say that.
No, can I talk about the defense now?
Ahead,
let's see what you
got,
man.
Say his name.
What's that?
Al Harris. Say his name. I know Mike Zimmer's going to get a lot of credit if this defense is successful, but I think just the overall conscience of this defense is Al Harris. You could see it on the sideline. You could see his interaction with players. It was number 37.
Eric Scott.
Eric Scott. He made the area like the what was it?
He missed a tackle
he pushed the guy out of bounds.
Yeah.
And you could tell just his interaction with Coach Harris. You could, the trust between them, but also sending that guy back in, and then you saw what happened, after that. So, I really love that he was able to stay on the staff after Dan Quinn left. And I really think he's a big part of the success that we're having with these guys that are ball hawks because, look, Al Harris was him. When he played. And I think it resonates with these players having a coach that not only knows what he's talking about, but a guy that did it and did it at a high level and a guy that you could buy into and trust.
Yeah, when it comes to this defense, I'm with you 100% on Harris. I mean, a lot of guys that I played with said he was, basically that guy when you talk about press technique. Like guys went to him. Ramsey went to him. Boye, those guys went to him to get his teachings when you talk about press coverage. So he's an amazing defensive back coach, and you can tell that secondary just kind of flows like he does. They got the swagger like he does out there on the field, and you love to see that from your secondary. To me, what really kind of popped out on tape to me was Overshown. You saw that speed. I mean, he popped off the tape. He was flying everywhere off to that field. And you love to see that from the linebacker position. I like to see a little bit more out of Clark, even though he had a limited snaps. I would have liked to see, a little bit more from him out there. But Overshown was flying. You like to see what Bell had back at that safety spot, and he showed up. I mean, player of the game, 8 tackles, and interception.
I got to ask you about that. It's just – obviously, you being a safety that played at the line of scrimmage a lot, but also a guy that played in coverage, how difficult that is for him being that he was a linebacker now, being that far off the ball and what that does to him and his technique.
Oh, it had to be extremely tough for him because for me, I was down there a lot, but I was also back, when it came to third down. I was able to play half of the field. Last year, he was down there in the box pretty much the entire year. Right. So for him to make that transition, you see things different because it happens slower the further you are back from the ball. So you can't just bite up on everything. You see it run, you're thinking, oh, I'm a linebacker, I got to get downhill. Man, they're going to hit you with that play action, go over top. So I liked what I saw from him being able to play that deep half of the field, coming downhill. We know he's going to be great in run support, but I loved it. The athletic ability, had the interception out there. So he's showing some promise. He's showing some promise that he can play that safety level because we know when it comes to Zimmer's defense, he likes those too high. And if you can't play high as a safety, you're not going to be able to play in Zimmer's defense. So I liked what I saw from him. And the second round pick, Nealon. I mean, he stuck up to a couple blocks out there. He didn't he was ripping off, but he kind of reminded me of Tyrone Crawford a little bit. A guy that has an unbelievable motor. Might not be the most athletic guy out there, but he has an unbelievable motor, and you saw it. He was able to drive a lot of those blocks back into the run game. He was always on the power. So those guys pretty much impressed me when it came to this defense, but, you can't scoff at four takeaways. You can't scoff at it.
Man, I love that comp for Nealon. If it's Crawford, I love that.
I like how I saw him play,
solid player for a very long time.
He, versatile, can play all throughout the line. I saw a lot of Crawford of him out there in that game.
I think, man, obviously we watched Mozzie. Right?
Yeah.
We had our eyes on Mozzie. And I think I saw some bright spots from Mozzie. I saw Mozzie get up the field. I saw Mozzie get
push.
I saw some push, but I also saw him take on blocks and not get pushed to the safeties.
Yep.
I saw him kind of ground himself, anchor himself, but then in true Mozzie fashion, it's like, oh, okay, that's a little off, but I think he's a guy that if you can get his best in rotation, I've seen coaches do that, get guys to be able to do what that they can do best, and then get another guy to come in right behind them. I saw some of the guys, Big Carl Davis, he had some good reps, and then our 7th round draft pick also had some good reps at the one technique as well. Chauncey Golston, they move him around a lot. I saw him out at the defensive end position where I thought he was going to be more of a 3-tech than, on the edge. And I think maybe through Sam Williams' injury that they're giving him that opportunity. But up front, that was all I was looking at. I was wanting to see how this defensive line flowed, if they were able to put any pressure on. Look, it's going to be the tremendous challenge to this defensive line is stopping the run. You know it, I know it, and these guys are going to they're going to have to be able to tackle and stop the run.
I want to see more of Hoko and Golston playing out the defensive end. So this practice coming up with the Rams and against the Raiders, I'd like to see that, to see exactly where some of that goes here. Mozzie Smith, look, the end of the day is the word trust. At what point in time can we feel like you can trust Mozzie Smith? Yeah. And trust requires 3 things: time, proof, and consistency. So game 1, okay, it pass-fail, he passed. If we're just doing a pass-fail grade, he passed. Do it again. Do it again against the Rams in the joint practice.
Yeah.
Do it again against the Raiders. Yeah. And that's where I'm at with Mozzie Smith. You have to show me consistently that you can do this to be the player that they've asked for. I mean, we're sitting here, if we're being honest with ourselves, we're sitting around here trying to nicely judge a guy who's a first-round pick. We should be expecting more from him. I know it's year 2. Year 1 wasn't going there, so he's trying to go down the road. But, dude, if this team is going to be a playoff team, he must be an active participant in them stopping the run. He has to be. Because right now, they haven't shown us behind door number 2. Doesn't look like there's anybody there.
No, it's what do you always say? Do or don't do. There's no try.
Do not. There's no try.
There's no
Yoda.
try.
That's Yoda. That's the Yoda.
And that's where he is. I don't think there's nobody that's giving Mozzie a soft landing on where he is. I mean, he's heard the criticism. People are on him because of where he's been drafted, and that's how I feel the same way about Guyton. Not to switch over to him, but I'm just saying, like, he's going to be judged according to where he was picked. This defensive line, as you just stated, man, they are going to have to stop the run. This has been the Achilles heel forever. Yeah. They have to get stops. Linebacker-wise, Leafau, another guy that I was watching, didn't really get
I thought he'd pop more, yeah.
Yeah, I thought I would get more out of him. They had some other guys. Number 57, Buddy Johnson from Kimball High School, a local product. Getting an opportunity to get out there. Look, I just wanted to see these linebackers flowing and getting downhill and getting tackles. One of the things that I do feel really confident in is our safeties. I mean, for a long time, the Dallas Cowboys couldn't find a safety. And now, we got guys like Wanye Thomas that's back there. I mean, now, you know what I'm saying? We have Bell. We have some guys that can really play.
I wouldn't say they couldn't find. I would say they didn't put a value in it. They found a church.
Oh, yeah.
But then they didn't want to pay me.
They didn't want to pay me. So
they didn't find the value.
I think
I think we look at like with Wilson, hey, look, we're going to pay you guys. Somebody got to Jerry and Steven and say, look, man, you got to write some checks. You got to put a couple zeros here at the safety spot, because especially with the slot receiver, like the league is changing here. Because there's a while when he wouldn't pay middle linebackers. That was his thing. We don't pay middle linebackers. That's when he let Kenny Norton go. And then you saw Ken goes to San Francisco and wins the Super Bowl there. So along the way, it's been very interesting, Heckma, how they have changed philosophies. And when they decided to actually put some money into the safeties and value it, now I think you see what you're getting out of this. Bell coming out of Florida A&M, they gave him a lot of money as a free agent.
One of the highest paid.
Right, so he spent that first year as a SWAC player, adjusting to the league. Last year kind of had to play out of position. And right now, I think we're seeing everything he had to do last year playing out of position at linebacker, now going back to safety. And having experience, you're seeing like, man, this is a good football player. Yeah. And so they invested in the player, they put in the time. I just don't think they did that before with safety.
That's maybe that's a part of Will McClay's brilliance is his ability to identify this position. You see it now with guys like Bland as well. I know for sure like the Simmons that was in Denver. I was crying to get Justin Simmons, get a guy like that because you need it. I mean, after you have look at the NFL for so long and you see those safeties that are just game changers, game wreckers, guys that can get interceptions. And now I'm looking around and I'm like Malik Hooker, Wilson. Now you have Bell. Guys that are pushing for position. How do you keep players that are showing you that kind of promise off the field? So I mean, we went from not having none to some, a bunch, and so I'm loving what I'm seeing in the secondary.
Let me ask y'all a quick question to get back to the second level. Is it a lock that Clark and Kendrick's going to be those two linebackers in there?
I think
Kendrick's for sure.
Kendrick's,
but is it?
Go back to the trust. Go to the trust factor right now. What are you going to do? Because Zimmer is going to go with the people he trusts.
Yeah, he trusts. Yeah.
Look, I think Overshawn makes this. He makes an interesting case. He's going to be one of those guys that he's going to have to be on the field. He's going to be in that rotation and packages. I need to see more out of Clark. Damone Clark had a bad season last season, and we had a bunch of tape and highlights to prove it. And so, like we were talking about the defensive line and stopping the run, that's why you bring in a Kendricks, because his one thing that he can do is get downhill and get tackles. And so we have to be able to present that kind of pressure at the second level. But right now, I mean, without knowing a whole lot about Overshawn out of Texas, and then him getting injured in that preseason game, he really is just one of those players that I'm like, man, this dude has just got juice with him. And that kind of quickness, that kind of explosion.
He's a little undersized, but he reminds me of the guy from Cleveland. Number 6, linebacker, Kawusakaski or something. Yeah. I butchered his last name. I apologize for butchering your name, but I think he could be that type of player.
KOC or something like that.
Yeah. He's a beast.
I believe he's out of Notre Dame. But he's just one of those guys that can tackle, but it's just a high motor guy, and it's going to be flying all over the field. I like him. I like him a lot. I just, look, Clark, it's a lot of guys got pressure on him right now. So
and this is good.
Yes, it is.
Yes,
that is.
This is a good thing, because we've seen too many times where they run out there and there was no competition, and then when it came to the competition they were playing against, they get a slap run over. So this is a good thing. All right, let's do it again in 2 days. Heckma Harrison,
I'll be here.
Appreciate you. Barry Church,
I'll be here.
Appreciate you. I'm Newey Scruggs. And for Jazz, Josh, everybody who's a part of this, Chris Beam, we thank you. This has been the Players Lounge, brought to you by Aristocrat Gaming on DallasCowboys.com radio.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?